From the Stick It To You release, that is Slaughter with Mad About You. And there's a fan of the Classic Metal Show. She's mad about somebody. And Chris, would you like to interview?
Who's mad about?
Well, I would think that one of our biggest long-term fans, she's mad about somebody.
Yeah, she's definitely a big fan of the band Slaughter. That, of course, AmyRocks, who's actually literally on Facebook. There's pictures of her on the tour bus with Slaughter as we speak.
Really? Like she there tonight?
Yeah.
Now, who's in Slaughter?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
They're in Toronto, I believe, tonight.
And who's actually in the band Slaughter these days?
I think, I'm not positive, but I think it's, I think this touring lineup right now is, it's Mark and Dana and, what's the guitar? Blando. And, yeah, and some drummer guy that's filling in because, Blas is out with Blue Man Group.
Right. Now, is Blas still officially a member of Slaughter?
As far as I know, who knows, dude? Are they even still really a band? I mean, they just come out to tour once. When's the last time they toured before this year? 5 years ago?
Well, I don't think they actually tour. I think they just do select dates.
Yeah, I don't know that they're even still really a band, but, you know, I would imagine that Blas is still in the band.
Sure. Well, I haven't seen Blas perform with Slaughter in a lot of years. I mean, I don't think he's out of the band, but his normal gig is playing with the Blue Man Group.
Yeah, and as far as I know, that's, you know, that's why he's not out there touring this time anyway.
Right. Well, what did AmyRocks do for Slaughter? She apparently wanted to do something special for them, so she went out, and what did Amy do for them?
Amy bought the guys in Slaughter a star.
She bought them a star.
An actual star.
In the constellation.
That's right. She bought a star, the now named Slaughter Star, I guess, the Star of Slaughter.
Well, what I always find interesting is who gives any entity the right to even sell a star.
Well, even more to the point, who says that they're not selling the same star to 15 people?
Well, that too. But who says, hey, you know what? I'm going to sell the stars.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who thinks that they own that shit. You know, I have no idea how that all works. I've always thought that was a big stupid scam. But, yeah, Amy went out there and bought Slaughter a star.
All right. Well, it says, Dear Slaughter, a star has been registered for you in the online star registry by Amy and Carla. We hereby declare that the star with the confirmation RA23HD5M20.31 let's see. What is this? December 10th, 79 MAG and date 3rd of August 2013 was officially registered and named in the online star registry as Slaughter. So do you think the scientists who study space and the constellation, they know every star out there, and, you know, oh, isn't that the Slaughter star?
Look, there's the Slaughter star right next to the Neely constellation.
Right.
Come on.
So she bought Slaughter a star.
She sure did.
So she's out there tonight seeing Slaughter so she can officially present them with the star plaque.
That is true.
Oh, boy.
And dude, here's the funny part. So I was talking to Amy this week, and she asked me if I saw this, and she sent me the picture that I sent you,
right?
And I immediately said, congratulations, Amy, you just made the CMS.
Right.
And she just laughed. She's like, make fun of me all you want. I think it was funny and it's cool. And, and she didn't care. She was like, okay, go ahead. Because I'm seeing people in the chat talking about if they want to make fun of Amy, because everybody loves Amy. But
sure,
Amy's even game with it. She knows it's silly, but, it's something she wanted to do. And,
right.
I talked to her about it a little bit. And for her, Slaughter was like that band for her,
right.
or one of those bands for her when she was like 15 years old. And she actually has pictures of her sitting on Mark Slaughter's lap when she was like 14 or something. And so, that was like kind of her band as a kid. So, she wanted to do this thing. So
that's her tribute to Slaughter, buying them a star.
Yeah, and from the pictures that I saw on Facebook, she brought him a cake and everything else. She's like in with Slaughter.
Right, nice. Well, did I ever tell you my Mark Slaughter story?
If you have, I don't remember.
This was back in the WSTB days.
Okay.
Slaughter was out on tour. They were promoting their Revolution. Was it Revolution or Re-Evolution, or was it Revolution?
Revolution, the one with American Pie. The cover.
Yeah.
American Pie, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they were out touring for that, and they made a stop at what used to be Ron's Crossroads.
Okay.
And because I was the only show in town that was doing that style of music, it was thrown over to me to say, hey, Mark would like to do some press while he's in town. Would you like to come into the station and bring Mark to the station and do an hour spot with Mark and play some Slaughter and this and that?
Okay.
So on a Friday, I believe it was a Friday, I picked Mark up from the hotel out in Fairlawn.
Sure.
And took him to the radio station.
Okay.
And then we did a 1 hour segment live where he took phone calls and we played the new Slaughter and played some of the, the older Slaughter and talked about the new CD and the tour and all that stuff.
Sure.
So it was my first live in studio guest type thing.
No kidding.
Yep.
He's a nice guy. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, real nice guy. And actually, I have it on video.
Do you?
Yeah, my then girlfriend, whom we discussed having the house.
Yeah.
She brought a video camera and she videoed me interviewing Mark in the studio live.
And she didn't keep it in the divorce?
No, I have it. No, I have it. I have it. I just need to rip it to like a DVD because it's on VHS.
Right, sure.
And then like rip it to digital and maybe put it up. It's like, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes of video at the most.
Okay.
But it was me as a young, as very early in my DJing.
Yeah, it was 18 years ago or 17 or something.
Yeah, exactly. So that was like back in 90. I think this was like 97.
Yeah, that was in when they were on CMC International.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Look at this chat room going crazy about the stars. I'm buying a star for Chuck Negron's cock.
Oh, speaking of that, what's the scoop?
We're going to get an interview. He's not doing them for another month.
Well, but it's going to be over for the reason he wants to raise money. He only had like 30 days, didn't he?
I know. And that was my answer back. I was like, what? And they're like, he's not doing press until after. It's like, all right. As long as we get the press, who cares?
I don't really care. It's just I thought the whole premise was to help him raise that money.
Dude, you and I both know how it works in that industry.
Okay.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah. So we're going to get Chuck Negron on the show. Just hasn't happened yet.
Okay. Well, this is something, before we get into that, but look at Psycho Postman. They could write a CMS Thesaurus, Fucky and Wendell's, like Funk and Wagnalls.
Fucky and Wendell's.
But getting back to interviews and stuff, and now that we're off the whole Slaughter thing.
Sure.
And because our fans are such a fan,
Yeah.
Just through us talking about it.
Uh-huh.
We are reaching out to see if we could bring former Three Dog Night vocalist Chuck "My Cock Exploded" Negron on the show.
Yes, it's going to happen.
So,
dude, it's going to be the biggest thing since we had Tommy Two-Tone on the show.
Well, actually, it should be even better, only because we made such a goof about it.
Well, I know. Dude, I still remember that Tommy Two-Tone thing. All we wanted to do was ask him about the fucking Snake Man and jewelry. And we literally did an interview with Tommy Two-Tone just to ask him about the Snake
Man.
And we interviewed. That was one of the all-time funniest shows ever.
Yeah.
Remember that guy and fucking Scott Clark from KEIF? He had us interview Bertha Bangers.
Bertha Bangers.
You have that clip handy?
Yeah, let me see. I'm just looking at some of the clips I have here. But
see if you've got the interview with Bertha Bangers. I know it's like 5 minutes long or something, but that's one I would just like to play.
All right. Well, here, let me play this one first.
All right, go ahead.
More reality in this book.
Right, and I have to agree with you with your number one book pick. That Chuck Negron rules.
That does rule.
I know it ain't classic metal, but there is no better book that's ever been printed about a rock guy than the guy from Three Dog Night.
Oh, my God.
Anybody that talks about his cock exploding.
Can you say that on the radio?
Well, I'm talking about a rooster. What are you thinking about?
Unreal. That's what you get for not sticking with one woman all those years.
Yeah, or 100 women. He couldn't narrow it down.
Yeah, I highly recommend that book. It was released a couple years ago. Chris did an excellent one-on-one interview with Chuck Negron from Three Dog Night.
He actually had the best quote ever in that interview. He said, what did he say? Something about he rocked himself raw.
I suggest you go pick up that book. Like I said, it was released about 2 years ago. It's called Three Dog Nightmare. If you want to read a great rock and roll book and all true stuff, man, I'll tell you what, I couldn't put that book down.
Well, I would imagine if people that listen to the Classic Metal Show had a book to compare to, it'd be like The Dirt.
Yeah, but I think it was better than The Dirt.
100 times better than The Dirt.
And even though I put Gene Simmons' Kiss and Makeup on the top 5, I think that was like the 5th pick.
Yeah.
It was okay. It wasn't the best, but that Three Dog Nightmare really took the top honor.
Everything about that is unreal.
Unbelievable. So if you're a Classic Metal Show fan that actually is literate enough to read, go pick that up. It's a great read.
And if you just tuning in waiting for the Sunday Oldies Jukebox, you too could listen.
Well, they would be more in line with that.
That's what I'm saying.
But they might find that offensive. They say, I thought they were all about, like, good time feeling music, and I didn't know he was talking about, like, banging chicks and stuff.
Yeah, well, let's get them into the right mood.
That's just so wrong.
So there you go.
Chuck
Negron.
Is like, can you believe that we got away with that on commercial radio?
Well, it was like at 3 o'clock in the morning, though. So who's going to be?
Yeah, it was way late. But
it was past the safe harbor.
Yeah, but still.
So nice.
If Bob Long would have heard that, we'd have been canceled.
Sure. But he trusted me. All right, well let's play a cover of Three Dog Night, and we'll come back here and we'll talk a little bit more because I know we got some other stuff to discuss. So anyway, hopefully we'll get Three Dog Night, Chuck Negron on the show, and he's going to re-release his book Three Dog Nightmare, and we're going to find out about that. But because our fans are such fans of our discussion, we plan on getting him on the show and talk about the re-release of the book and all that fun stuff, and we will definitely ask him questions about that since that was such a standout story in his book. But anyway, our good friends Dokken had done a cover of one of the Three Dog Night classics from the Erase the Slate release, and they did a cover of the song One. So let's play that. We'll be back in just a few minutes. It's Dokken exclusively here on your Classic Metal Show.